Hey everyone, it is me, Fashion Coder, and I'm so excited to make this video today because it is going to be on what PulseChain is. So I already have lots of different videos that are out on different projects that are on the PulseChain network, but this is going to be solely what PulseChain is. So let's get started. So PulseChain is a network that is being forked from Ethereum. And so what the developers have done, they've grabbed that code from Ethereum, brought it over, and they have taken that code to then make their own network, which is kind of cool. It's a big task to do, and so it's exciting to see what they're going to do with it. Now, you may ask, like, why would we even want to go away from Ethereum? Several reasons, but we will get into that later on throughout this video. So just to go through their website, I'm on PulseChain.com. So the testnet is live. I will link a thing up here of all of my testnet videos for PulseChain. So PulseChain is the network, but then it has a native token that is called Pulse. So it's PLS, which you will see if you go on their testnet, but this is how you set it up. You can come in here, put down all of this information within like your MetaMask, or if you have another wallet that you want to connect it to, and you can play around in there. There was a sacrifice, so that is something that's good to know. This is completely over. It's not something that you can do right now, so that is good to keep in mind. There's a couple of testimonials here. There was also a volume bonus multiplier, but that's also a part of the sacrifice. But if we come down here, we can look at the different goals. So it's so cool because PulseChain is going to be one of those networks that uses proof of stake. If you don't know what proof of stake is, it is better for the environment, actually, crazy enough. And it is something that allows for there not to be as much energy use, as well as it can be more efficient. So what is PulseChain going to bring? Why would we want to use PulseChain, and what value does it bring to the table when we already have Ethereum? So it is going to help with Ethereum with their fees by lowering its load, as well as having faster blocks. So if we look at this point, increase Ethereum's value, awesome. And then also down here, lower PulseChain fees and serve more users. So PulseChain increases the throughput of Ethereum 4 times by using 3-second blocks instead of Ethereum's average of 13-second blocks. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. Like, it is going to have lower gas fees. And I don't know if you've ever like traded on Ethereum, but oh my gosh, like I think the most I've spent on one transaction was like $100 in fees. And you know, I probably should have waited, and you probably shouldn't be trading if you just got to do something like that. But it's one of those things where I was like, I need to get into this coin at this exact moment. Like, I will take my loss in the gas fees. So that's something that's going to be nice within PulseChain, is when it launches, it's going to have lower gas fees. Let's see, enrich ERC20 and NFT users. So something that comes along with PulseChain is it is going to have the world's largest airdrop. Now, if you've never experienced an airdrop before, usually what happens is you'll have a specific coin in your wallet, and because you have that coin, you end up getting free tokens, which is so cool. And that's exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to happen to every single token that you have. So any token that you have within a wallet, it can't be on exchange, it has to be on a wallet, on the ERC20 network, it's going to be copied over to PulseChain. Now, what that means is you are not going to have the same price point that you have on Ethereum, but there's potential that it could reach price parity. The thing is, though, is you will have the same amount of coins on the PulseChain network. So say you had 4 Ethereum, when that gets translated over, that's actually going to end up being Pulse. So then you'd have 4 Pulse. But if we look at like Hex, so you had 1,000 Hex, you're going to end up having 1,000 Hex on the PulseChain network. So that's really exciting. Like, all of these free tokens, all these free coins that you get. And I mean, who doesn't want free tokens, right? All right. And then if we move down, so Pulse has 0% inflation. Validators only earn fees, and 25% of the fees are burnt to reduce the circulation of the supply. And then empower PulseChain holders. PulseChain native token pools can be staked and delegated to validators that reward the delegators with the largest percent of fees. So there is a lot of potential. You're able to get your pulse. You are able to go in and stake it. And also, if you wanted to be validated, you could do that. But there are lots of different options within this. So that is the network. There are so many cool projects that are going to be coming out to it. So PulseChain is being made by a man named Richard Hart right now. And he is also doing another thing that's called PulseX, which will be on PulseChain. And that's going to be an exchange. And so, like I said earlier, with that specific playlist, I have tutorials on how to use the testnet for PulseX too. That's a tongue twister. All right, so then there's also going to be bridging. So, we have our Ethereum network. We have the PulseChain network. How are we going to get things between them? That is why we have the bridge. So it's going to be called the Pulse Bridge. Also have a video on that, but you're able to go in and really be able to, take your Pulse and trade it for ETH between the different networks. So you would see that right here within the bridging. And then there's also the trading. So thousands of ERC20 tokens on PulseChain can trade on PulseChain's Uniswap, and similar at launch since Ethereum state is included. There will be an ePulse ETH pair on Uniswap on the Ethereum network and a pETH Pulse pair on Uniswap on the PulseChain network. So you're going to see the E and the P in front of the different coin names. And what that means is the E is showing it's the Ethereum pair and the P is showing that it's on PulseChain. So that gets explained down here. Like Hex is known as eHex, short for Hex on the Ethereum network, while Hex on PulseChain is called pHex, so it's short for Hex on the Pulse network. And then we have a disclaimer in here about sacrificing, but you can't even do that right now. If you're interested, you can also come into their Twitter and follow them here. It is a great resource to figure out what's going on. Also, Richard Hart. What I have and what I'm doing is I have notifications turned on from Richard Hart because he will announce on Twitter once PulseChain goes live. So we at least have version 3 left of coming out for testnet on PulseChain, and then hopefully PulseChain will be launched soon after that. But we'll see. Like there's so much potential to this, and I think it's okay to wait just because it just gives us time to wait because there's literally nothing we can do with those coins. So if you did sacrifice your PulseChain or PulseX, we are waiting within the time for it to launch so we can access those things. But it's really exciting. So come on in, follow Richard Hart, put on his notifications if you want to know when PulseChain is going to launch. But this is going to be so monumental. PulseChain is going to be something that you don't want to miss. And so if you haven't taken a look into it yet, do your research. Come in, look at it, look at other resources about what they say about PulseChain. But honestly, I truly think it's going to be one of those things where people are going to be mad that they didn't get to get into this when they had the chance at the beginning. So come on in and look. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.